if you wanna go. I know I made you cry last year when I was on the road.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about how I cover my acne and my acne scars. I've recently broke out pretty bad. I think it's just from a hair oil that I bought that has argan oil in it. My skin just doesn't work with argan oil, so I think that's what it is. But I have quite a few breakouts around my chin and a couple on my cheeks, and this is just how I cover it. I obviously know that it's totally normal and natural to have breakouts, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm definitely not ashamed of mine. This is just for if I feel like getting extra glam, I feel like putting on makeup. I'm the type of person that likes to wear makeup, so this is just what I do to cover my acne and give me kind of a blank canvas for makeup. So I'm gonna get right into the video and stop rambling, but first I want to tell you guys to please subscribe down below before we get started and give this video a thumbs up at the end if you guys do like it. And yeah, I guess we can just get right on into the video. So today I'm going to use the Pixi Hydrating Milky Serum. I really like this stuff. I just thought it was like a cute little bottle and I needed a moisturizer. You guys, I cannot talk. I needed a moisturizer, so I just bought this one. I just think it's really cute and it works really well. It says it's a revitalizing skin boost. It says with rosehip oil and vitamin C, which I really like vitamin C in my skincare. So I'm just gonna drip this on my face, just on my cheeks and my forehead. And I'm just going to rub it in, really making sure that I rub it into the areas that I'm really gonna need to cover. So for me, that's down here. This stuff smells really good. It smells pretty like natural. Okay, so now that I've let that sit, I'm just going to start concealing my problem areas. So what I like to do is take my Tarte Shape Tape. This is the most full coverage concealer that I own, and mine is in the shade Light Sand. So I like to just apply it a little bit to the back of my hand so I'm not just applying it straight to my face and getting, you know, germs on the little applicator. So I just take it on the back of my hand, and then I like to use a brush, especially when I am really trying to get the most coverage out of a concealer or a foundation. I will use a brush and then lightly like dab over it with a sponge just to really make it look airbrushed. But a brush is definitely going to give you the most coverage. Just going to tap it into the brush. Look how full coverage that is. It's insane. I'm just going to cover like this whole area. I'll use the excess to cover the redness on my chin. I'm just going to really concentrate it right there. You can see it just kind of disappears. So I'm just placing the product directly on the breakout, and then I'm just blending around it, because if you really blend right on top of it too much, it's going to take away the concealer. So you just want to blend the edges out. See, I'm just kind of done. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with foundation. I'm going to take the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. If you guys are new to my channel, this is my absolute favorite. If you haven't tried it yet, go get it. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to mix it with my L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade W2. This one is in the shade 205 Natural Beige. So that's what I'm going to do on my little tray here. Okay, so I've mixed the two together. Right there. I'm just going to take a little bit, no, we're just going to go straight in. So I'm going to use this Real Techniques Expert face brush. That is always hard for me to say. And I'm just going to mix it together. And I'm going to start where my problem areas are. So it's a little bit dark for me, but we'll make it work. Just going to pat it on. And what this will do is ensure that all of the coverage stays where we want it when you're using these patting motions with a brush. If you use a beauty blender, the beauty blender will tend to soak up most of the product that you're using, which is good if you don't have anything to cover, but we do. So just going to use patting motion. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my beauty blender and dip it into the same foundation, just a little teeny tiny bit on there, and I'm going to go around my nose because when I use a brush on my nose, the foundation just like is so streaky, so I just can't use a brush on my nose. I like to get the base down with a brush, but then I just have to pat it out with my beauty blender. Okay, now lastly, for my issue problem areas, they need a little bit more coverage. So I like to take the Coty Airspun in Translucent Extra Coverage. And what I'm going to do is going to look a little crazy, but I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just dip it into this powder, getting a good amount on there, just tapping it. Right where I need it. This will add, obviously, extra coverage to your breakouts. It will make them look matte so that obviously you won't be able to see them as much, and it's going to ensure that your makeup lasts right there all day long. So I'm just going to go a little crazy. Do my smile lines while I'm at it. So I'm just going to leave it like this for a while I do my bronzer and my blush. So for bronzer, I've been really liking the LA Girl Pro Face Bronzer. It's a really nice warm color. This is in the shade True Bronze. So I just take a little bit on my Morphe M105, tap it off, and then I just tap it onto these areas. Find with tapping, you don't move the product underneath around as much as you do if you're like swirling. So I really like to just take the tiniest bit and just tap it on. And I'll do a little bit on my nose. And that's about it. So for blush, I really have been liking the e.l.f. little St. Lucia kit. It just comes with a bronzer and a blush. I like this blush because it's not too intense. I cannot take myself seriously. It's just not too intense. It's really muted and just really pretty. So I'm also going to take a different M103 brush. Yes, 105, sorry. From Morphe, and just tap that on. Just adds a tiny little wash of color. Just do a little on my nose. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of Becca Moonstone highlighter. Just the littlest bit. I just don't like to use a lot of highlighter just because it emphasizes pores. I just think you look more flawless when you are kind of all matte. So I'm just going to add a tiny bit of that. Then we can dust all of this away. I like to just kind of tap it instead of like swiping it, because then it just kind of taps the product in rather than taking it away. I can't see any of those breakouts. I'm going to take this powder brush from Real Techniques and dip it into that same bronzer that I used on my cheeks. Just tapping off the excess and then just patting that on these areas. So the most important part that I almost forgot, obviously I need to put on some lower lash mascara, but spray your face with the, you don't have to use this, but use a setting spray so that all of the powders and layers that we put on our face kind of melt into one another and look like skin again. So I just used the Clinique Moisture Surge face spray. I got this at Sephora for a little, I had like points or whatever, so I got a little sample and I really, really like this stuff. So I just sprayed that on. I'm gonna let it dry. And that is it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you out. Please don't forget to subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in my next video.